Добрый вечер. Я решил, что пора немножко сделать паузу, деградировать в Overwatch. Вернуться в Ревашоль, нашему бомжекопу. Так, на чем мы остановились? Среда. Вы знаете информацию о серийном номере выбитого на броне жертвы. На ботинках жертвы нашли серийный номер, присвоенный этому комплекту керамической брони. Воспользуйтесь рацией в мотокарете лейтенанта Кицураги, чтобы получить информацию по этому номеру. Так, воспользуйтесь, это я сделал. Перезвоните Алисе на следующий день, чтобы получить информацию о броне. Окей. Ладно, пойдем. Проверьте ловушки, расставленные криптозоологом Мореллом, чтобы он и его друг Гэри смогли немного отдохнуть. Морелл установил 4 ловушки. Проверьте их и вернитесь к нему, чтобы сообщить о результатах. Оно мне надо, в общем-то, непонятно. Так, однажды дурак от роду так украл крутую куртку и снова потерял ее. У него так по жизни. Говорит, что последний раз видел эту куртку где-то в районе пирса. Может, на заброшенном рыбном рынке? Все может быть. Что это за проверка? Ким Кацураги средняя.
Yes. You look like shit. And I don't mean that as a metaphor. Oh, don't be so modest. We're looking at several months worth of damage here. Kind of a miracle you're still up and at it, to be honest.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
Женщина с лошадиным лицом. Господи, за что ее так?
It's not just this week. What you want?
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar but different face. He might be wearing a disguise. There's something that brings you to him. Some kind of an outfit, maybe. A uniform. The police of animals, yes.
Well, I am interacting with the most dangerous animal of them all. You. I'd say yes. I'm animal control. To yourself? Yes, extremely.
Can we help you with something?
Yes, it's a hobby of mine.
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response. Something to click. It's not happening, though. Who is this guy?
I'm not getting involved in this.
About what? You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like? Exactly. No. Because it's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging?
Что-то лагануло тут чуть-чуть.
Come on, Jean.
Okay, say things. I want to hear you say things.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head.
So, do you know who hanged him? Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. Why are you?
It's like you felt it would be intellectually stimulating and would lead somewhere. A custom even? Strange.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? What is it? Okay, why? So, do you... I don't know. Oh my god. Watch out for yourself.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station and reporting your badge missing?
Oh really? I wonder where. That's the where you remember me from? You don't say. Goodbye then. The voice thing was a coincidence. Run along, asshole.
The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform.
Очаровательные ребята.
She notices you.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now. I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you? No, you haven't wronged me. It's okay. Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want?
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
That was, yeah, that was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit. Haven't wanted anything to end this badly since I had cluster headaches. Horrible. Truly horrible. I beg of you, don't ever subject anyone to this torture again. I mean, seriously, you need to.
Jean, he's not right. Don't make it worse. And I really liked it.
She actually did.
What precinct?
Fucking deranged lunatic.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation. Maybe you're doing something wrong.
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
You're an asshole. You know what? Maybe we're both assholes.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay? I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Judith. Me? No. I'm just a man with sunglasses. I like wearing sunglasses inside. Sunglasses and a fucking wig.
Okay,
I'm just looking out for...
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are...
You're a fucking asshole. Are we done here? It means I'm a patrol officer, sir.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you? I am not.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually really smart people, fuckwad.
No, Glenn, they aren't.
This didn't change her opinion of you. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Так, пардон.
The door is closed. This door can... Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. Still, the lieutenant gives...
Так, понятно, тут ничего интересного. Подожди, что? Тут можно поговорить с окном?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. You see 2, maybe 3 bushes grown into a single thicket over a period of circa 50 years. It takes time for a hedge like that to form. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. One can't see into the union box from the yard outside. That hawthorn is too thick.
Минус 12 еще не время. Окей, ладно.
It's you again. What is it? A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this.
That's just contactee status. Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already rolled on the others, and is in witness protection.
Well, let's hear it then. Who is your mystery fella?
He's not alarmed by the sudden appearance of a witness, but he is surprised. This goes without saying, but nonetheless, don't give out his name.
It's like you said, Al. Copper's coming up with this on the spot.
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make?
Arabagite? Boss, I think he's trying to say me and Theo.
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine were there too. I already told you. We were all there.
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a fucking brass band. The Hardy Boys are dead silent.
Yeah, it's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What's with the cowbells, policeman?
They're avoiding having to answer this question.
We were drinking, weren't we, guys? I hit the bottle hard. I was drunk as fuck.
Right, I'm convinced, Glenn. Nothing off here. Just a regular hanging.
That means absolutely nothing to me. Sounds like some made-up horse shit.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky, it's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there was.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
Great witness.
So much bluster to hide the fact that they're uncomfortable with you having this info. Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind. I hear the gun thing is excellent and has great results. You're probably right. The others are only there for filler, to make the gun thing pop.
Why?
This is not what he thinks it is. This is a great idea.
Да, вообще шикарная идея.
I'm afraid it's not what you think it is either.
What in the name of fuck are you doing?
But I don't want to give you my gun.
The fuck is happening, Titus? What are they whispering about?
Easy, Shanks. I want to see where this is going.
Я не более чем плоть.
Police job? Be careful, it's loaded.
Good. Now put it in your mouth. I want to point it at them. Quit your whining. Everyone knows how to do that. You're a special man. You're going to point it at yourself.
Господи, вот это наркомания.
What are you doing?
Genuine panic flies across the lieutenant's face.
Fellas, you getting any of this?
We'll solve the case. Look at me. Don't worry. This demonstration is not helping at all.
Inside the small mechanism, You can hear a spring tensing up.
Yeah, cause I sorta wanna see that shit.
You won't, man. His fucking balls ain't big enough.
What in the name of motherfuck?
Acidic taste on your lips. Corrosive. Once as a child you put your tongue against the rail. It was winter. That was a long time ago.
The fuck is he saying?
Some insane shit.
Nothing. Give me the gun.
Fellas, the cop is really threatening to off himself. This is insane.
No, that is not what is happening. This show is unnecessary. Give me my gun, now.
He's desperately trying to offer a counter-narrative. There is none.
He's not gonna off himself. Come on.
No. He'll do it. Go ahead, son. 3, 2.
Kisses, kisses, kisses. No. Give it to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. It's not too late. You can still spin this as some kind of tactic. Be no spinning. Do the honest thing. Pull the trigger.
Мы так не делаем.
Nothing to worry about here, people. My partner likes to play these jokes. He's what you call dark.
Dark? What the fuck was that, you carnies? We haven't seen RCM in 4 years, and this shows up?
I knew he wasn't gonna do it, though. I knew he'd pussy out.
No. I still have my money on him. Sooner or later, he has that look.
Do not think your failed suicide attempt will win you any pity from these men. Do not expect them to forget it soon either.
Again, it was a dark joke. Maybe we should go for a little walk, Joker, before we continue. Jogging around seems to have a positive effect on you.
Да, бедолага. Так.
What in the name of hell was that supposed to be? The theatrical suicide attempt. We need to talk about it. Yes, well, I was able to recontextualize it as a dark joke. I will not be able to recontextualize it the next time. I understand you sometimes employ extreme interrogation tactics, but I want you to understand that was too extreme. We can't have RCM officers going around putting guns in their mouths. We can't afford to have that image. Few institutions can.
Я все понял, больше не повторится. Я действовал интуитивно, но в этот раз чуть меня подвело. Прости, что поставил тебя в такое положение. Хотел поприветствовать сумерки, погибель атомов зовет меня. Это повторится, я сделаю это снова. Блин, неужели его из-за женщины так колбасит?
Yes. Very, very, very wrong. I'm glad you see it my way. Let's go.
Пойдем.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an RCM sticker. There is a hollow ring as you kick the box. It sounds like it's mostly empty. Your toe hurts now. Your toe has suffered damage. It hurts.
Cool. You really showed that mail collection box.
He does not actually think it's cool. If anything, the lieutenant feels sorry for the poor box. He's leaning in to inspect the layers of graffito that deface it. The lieutenant pats the box ever so slightly.
А, тут же дверь еще действительно есть, которую я все безуспешно пытаюсь выбить. Может быть, сейчас получится?
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Недоступно, окей.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome.
Hi, Ace Detective.
Здесь ничего нового.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelves.
Да нахрен мне это надо?
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular.
Ой, ладно.
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags for the night.
The key turns with a satisfying click.
А, точно, точно, я же это себе хату снял. Как снял? На халяву получил. Ну. Здесь зеркало.
An old
Опять.
mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression. It's too late. Like an image on film, the expression belongs to your primary. The bed is comforting. It
Набережная Мартинеза. Церковь. Западу от здания Фельд. Ладно, давайте это попробуем. Где это здание Фельд? По-моему, вот это вот здание Фельд. То есть мне куда-то сюда.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer? Remarkable. That one already lost everything else, and now his jacket too. It's a good thing, too, that he has an actual police officer looking for it. Good old doom spiral. Upper management to the core.
That's odd. Is she actually impressed?
How sweet of you. It really is. I check around the abandoned fish market on the boardwalk. Drunks are inexplicably drawn to markets. Might be why they have such trouble staying in business.
A phenomenon that the spectral hand theory of the market fails to account for.
If one of them lost something, that's as good a place to start looking as any. Oh. That's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? This calls for a funeral, if you ask me.
Ты предлагаешь почтить память остова моей бывшей мотокареты? Нет, это бессмысленная сентиментальщина, это же вещь, у нее нет души.
Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all. Why odd? Our things are a part of our life world. They're made with our human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them as we care about humans. To some extent, at least.
Life world? Someone's been reading up on last century Gotwaldian philosophers. Play it cool now.
Oh yeah? You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June. And where are you going to bury it? Who to invite? What music to play at the wake? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and let nature take care of it.
That's all we have time for right now anyway. Come back here in June and see how you feel about it then. It's not like it's going anywhere. Yes, that is a pity. But for now, let's focus on the things we do get to do. Like the murder investigation, for example.
Ссылочной станции к западу от здания Фельд.
This is the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. But the reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake. It's good the cryptozoologists left. This isn't a very cozy place to stay night after night. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire. This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptos.
Another empty trap. Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
Так, это лагерь. Лодочная станция к западу от здания Фельд. И какая же тут помойка-то, а? Так, я здесь не был. Так, ладно, пока туда не пойду. Тут, походу, я тут что-то пропустил. Так, сохраняемся.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned.
Да, точно, я сюда не заглядывал. О, бабосики.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound. It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? Some secrets are better left uncovered. Don't even try. Seriously. It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore. Somehow, it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk, if not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs that prowl the beaches at night. The faint impressions of many footprints are also present, though it's impossible to tell what kind or how many. Suffice to say, the jacket spent some time on the ground before someone draped it over the railing. The crust is hard. This jacket spent at least a day baking in the sun. Who knows what happened to it then? It's too late. You've already thought about it, and now your hands are covered in muck. What? No. Then it'll just be on your pants. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out. Smell. It's awful and familiar. Don't be naive. Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency, that faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be. The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose. A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the left leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom-made. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
A .75-liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside.
Tear all around us.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rear teeth.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him. The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think? We do know that he was married. But you're right. Let's not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk. Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now.
Oh yes.
Да уж.
Acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the box.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Действительно. Да-да-да.
Seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body. From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work. Good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest. Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we are taking the case.
Сколько тут? Так, что у нас здесь?
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper. In the track, 2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
A tragedy.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief.
Так, а бутылочек там случайно нету?
There's some tear. A man lied.
В чем дело? Так, читательский билет. Читательский билет здесь был. Вот он.
The library card is folded into 2 and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased or his family member.
Итак, кнопка.
The library card. Billy is a unisex name.
Так, перевернуть.
Please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55 211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business at...
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Méjean.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable.
Не до телефонного пранка. Он, конечно, бомжекоп, но работать надо. Вот и сокровище. Заначки. Перед тобой разводной мост, его можно опустить только с другой стороны. Ага. Рыбешки носятся стайкой вокруг заборного столба, затем бросаются в рассыпную, скрываясь во тьме. Так, окей, с той стороны. Значит, где-то должен быть проход. Что-то заметки никакой не увидел. Указатель Сен-Бреон, 1147. Или 1147. Темнота скрывает алтарь или что-то вроде того. Слишком темно, чтобы разглядеть. Так, побочки. Оп. Так. Не хочу пока туда заходить. Посмотрим, что вокруг. Ржавые шестерни когда-то приводили в движение весь механизм. В этом здании когда-то располагался двигатель. Должно быть очень большой. Ну, походу. Цепь тянется куда-то в океан. Кто знает куда. Так, бочка. Выбросили недавно, все еще пахнет мазутом. Ну, давайте зайдем, посмотрим, что тут.
Worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
Наверняка где-то ключ есть.
A service depot of some sort. The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
It may have been used to serve as an aerostatic battleship in the atmosphere, or a fortification, like a sea fort in the bay.
Так, а никакие инструменты там нельзя применить? Там, не знаю, болторез, например. Ничего не дает, нет. Тут надо чисто на скилл. Брутфорсом не получится. Сколько я тут всего еще не обследовал-то, оказывается, елки-палки. Белая рубашка пола. -1 эмпатия по какой-то причине дает. О, еще одна ловушка.
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologist. The reeds shake sadly in the coastal breeze. Snow specks the stalks. Most of it melts quickly. The reeds seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we are done. No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
Пироги, хороший мужик, мне его даже жалко. Сигаретные бычки, заметенные под камень, марка Тиумутири. Господи, фиг вы говоришь вообще, блин, эти названия. Так, здесь что-то есть. Кто-то здесь сжег костер давно. Так, здесь какой-то трансформатор. Ржавый сломанный пульт управления радиовышкой. Вот это радиовышка, тоже сломанная. Надушенный шарф. +1 трепет, -2 грубая сила. Окей. Что-то пропустил. Подожди, тут что-то записка понять. Проверьте ложку, ли она случится. Все, одна ловушка осталась. Как стоять? Нужно запомнить. Тиумутири. Это почему-то кажется важным. Это сигарета, которую он курит, что ли? Так, здесь ничего. Сюда я попасть не могу. Так, церковь как-то обходится сзади. По всей видимости, нет. По всей видимости, нет. Осталось только в церковь.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. Feels exceptional. 300 tons of pine would fit together seamlessly. It's old too, cut and carved many centuries ago. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow. You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth. That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Looks like today was a gold star day. The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment. Yes, the pulsing base. A sure sign of junior delinquency, somewhere east of here.
There's something on the sea ice there. Nothing happens, only the sound.
I don't think that's going to work.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder.
So should you. Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat. I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me. A cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
Why? Okay, it's Burger.
A very common name.
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike. No. You're welcome.
Yeah, I record stuff with it. No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
An entire litany spews forth.
Man, you are one weird cop. You do understand it all just sounds like Mike to me, right? The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble. Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium. Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno Van Eyck. Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Elysium going kind of person. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means either. That's cool. Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps? Okay. Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound. My boyfriend sold them. I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be like a music place anyway. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
Take this, your call.
No man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Thanks. That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure. Yeah, Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
They got too much stuff crammed in there, no room. Music stuff mostly, like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it. Yep, they were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those. That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter, I can take the cold. Go ahead. It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah. You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments. Synthesizers and tape consoles, microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
This is an evolutionary step up from amplified instruments, which in turn are a step up from acoustic instruments. What comes after it, you wonder? A black-tinted nothingness or something finer?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right? Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right? They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else? No. Not really, no.
She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks. She personally didn't put the padlock on the door.
It's Noid's. Yeah, I guess you could say that. To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about them, he'll tell you. Go ahead. Okay. Hello again.
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. Underneath you see a reel of tape rolling. You put the device back on the ice. A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough. The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk. The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out. Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, methinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Ну, здрасте, здрасте. Весело у вас тут, ребята.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future will look like. Imbecilic, yes, should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic. This guy, his grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Балабол.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it.
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads! Burnouts!
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that! The word!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Я не потерплю здесь никаких наркоманьяков, только через мой труп. У меня создается ощущение, что ты немного скучаешь, крашка. Чем тебе так не угодили те торчки и укурки?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre. And a place.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for. All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Oh, so you met her? Good, good. I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
Так, спидпанк кроется в прикрепленном к ремню мешочке, достает желтый ключ. Внезапно он решает сделать что-то крутое и небрежным жестом бросает его в твое направление. Будь крутым копом. Поймай ключ на лету. Ну давайте, будем крутым копом. Опа! Мы крутые.
The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Погреться в лучах славы.
The speed freak nods to you.
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
Неделю.
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives. You're right. It is nonsense. Total garbage. I knew you'd see through it. You're one smart.
It feels good to be the smart cop, doesn't it? That's a good cop to be. Has a nice ring to it. Smart cop. You wouldn't want to be stupid cop, now would you? But still, maybe he's just sucking up to you.
Oh, okay. I won't do that anymore. Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. Well, there's also the machinery. When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
The feeling? Господи.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it. Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost. Do you know what he means?
Без понятия вообще, что он несет.
Climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab. It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. A cell was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there. You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
Probably very likely. Скорее всего, практически наверняка, да.
Well, honestly, I can't, but I am.
This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers. Don't let that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from? Sure. What?
Ты говорил, что эта церковь принадлежит каким-то церковникам. Кто они такие? Я хотел бы поговорить обо всем этом оборудовании, что стоит в палатке. Так.
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no?
Скажи мне, Андре, как ты думаешь, такой древней религиозной организации, что посвящает светочи, понравилось бы появление клуба ванодной музыки в одной из их церквей? Судя по описанию, им бы у себя в церкви точно понравилась громкая нодная музыка. Да уж, конечно.
The Pericanassian church is about love, and Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. Love is hardcore.
Unity. Unity.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
That's pretty downbeat. I think I speak for all of us when I say we expected the law to be more open to the idea of love, unity, and the Pericanassian posse. Well, we're sorry too. So, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. His expectation is fierce.
Yes. What? Yeah, good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even is running water. Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
It does, doesn't it? Told you we have a smell problem. Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid? No.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. However, their breathing is regular, their jaws stay put and their pupils aren't dilated. So, not under the influence right now. At least, not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all this?
The what now?
У вас тут целые залежи. Ничего.
The old Ultra. We,
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe. Yes, that's all Nosefed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosefed is the shit.
Yes. What?
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
As always.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Okay, so the Speed Freaks want to start a club for dance music. That much checks out. Youths like music. You feel as though you might have liked music more. The gist of it is, they want to turn the church into a club, but a suspicious element has overtaken the building. It's very important. Plus, and it has to be considered, you can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if
Да, абсолютно все сходится.
this didn't quite go as it should have. But
As always.
Тын-тыры-дын-тыры-дын-тын-тын.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
a number of things don't add up. Let's take a look.
Давай.
How about gather around, kids? The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
Давным-давно, не знаю когда и где, но тут явно не обошлось без предательства. Я заболел и превратился в тень, что сейчас перед вами. У меня есть основания полагать, что до того, как это случилось, я был детективом полиции. Спасибо на добром слове, но всем и так понятно, что я позорю мундир. Я достаточно неплохо справлялся и заслужился до звания лейтенанта-ефрейтора. Мог бы стать капитаном, представляете? Диско. Это было так невероятно заманчиво. Жизнь поимела меня во все дыры.
Shut it! What? I have! I've said that!
Ну что ж, даже если с того момента прошло 1000 лет, во мне еще кое-что осталось от прежнего детектива. Ты трезв. Сложно было оставаться трезвым ради этой встречи. Дело ведь не в открытии клуба. Палатка забита лабораторным оборудованием для производства наркотиков.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
What do you mean, friend? It's a one-speaker system. It's dynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
У вас нет наушников. Разве Ассель не нужны наушники, чтобы крутить катушки? Я знаю, что вы их заложили. Скорее всего, чтобы купить лабораторное оборудование и сырье для наркотиков.
no drug ingredients.
Этот назофет нужен вам ради его действующего вещества.
What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine, almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
Дистиллированная вода — фундаментальный элемент чистой лаборатории.
Cellular-based life. What's your point, Lawbringer?
Пахнет эфиром. Очень полезный растворитель, особенно для выделения действующего вещества из раствора.
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether. No shit. That's... Come on, that's... It's not. We don't need drugs to be hardcore.
Пусть и не сегодня, кому но наркотики вам все-таки нужны, чтобы скоротать те дни, когда у вас нет гостей вроде меня.
Monument, cop man. Consciousness is new to the universe. We all have our ways to ease the shock. What exactly is it you know? What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
Поступим по закону. Сначала ты мне все расскажешь, а потом я вынесу приговор. Сейчас ты расскажешь мне, что на самом деле происходит, и там решим. Я умею быть снисходительным. Да мне вообще насрать, я просто хотел раскрыть дело. Делайте, что хотите, буду делать, что хочу. Не то я вызову подкрепление, и вы окажетесь на скамье подсудимых для начала. Не то моя доля станет 100%. Ты что, не слышал? Это же самый страшный коп на этом берегу.
Okay. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn a church into the wickedest club in East Revershole. Because we do! We totally do! We just need to turn it into a speed lab before. To get our foot in the door. Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up. No, man, they're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there. But the sign was way off, too. I couldn't feel the love at all. Whatever you think is right, sir. But please, we were only trying to make a living.
Взятка, собирайтесь и тащите свои задницы в 41-й участок, арестовать их, провалить, чтобы выгнать их, давайте в рамках закона. Никакой нарколаборатории, клуб по нудной музыке. Продолжить с клубом, без лаборатории ничего не выйдет, делайте, что считаете нужным, чтобы спасти клуб. Продолжить в обоих направлениях. Прежде чем что-то делать, нужно разобраться с жутиками, принять решение позже. Да не, я их арестую.
There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time.
He looks almost as old as you.
We need a win. I promise you this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
Да уж, конечно.
Okay. What happens at the station?
The would-be leader pulls out a card from his jacket pocket and hands it to you. The name reads Pete Andre. His friend hands you his papers. The name reads Carl Holtzman.
Jermaine Vanderwijk.
They're on a rock without an oar, and the ship has sailed far.
I guess that's that. Pack it up, Egg.
Вот так вот накрыли будущих наркоманов, наркоторговцев.
Yes?
Так, у меня тут это, очков навыков, очки навыки дали. Сколько у меня их? Господи. Врите, но не дайте себе обмануть. Индивидуальный анализ. У меня еще свободных очков. А, все, 2 было. Пойдем в церковь, посмотрим, что там. А, подожди, че я гуляю? Я ж мост опустил. Забыл про него совсем.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Неожиданно красиво внутри. Что-то гудит. Ты смотришь вперед, и тебя наполняет странное спокойствие. Здесь нужно идти, а не бежать. Фигура была добавлена позже. Первоначально не была частью этой церкви. Тот же узор, что и снаружи. Зубчатая молния. Следы короедов? Нет, похоже, кто-то специально нарисовал. Какой-то давно забытый стиль. Доска заполнена сложными уравнениями. Похоже, их написали недавно. Что-то связанное с радиочастотами. Чаша заполнена водой. Прямо в нее опущен провод, подключенный к сети. Может, провода использовались как контактные микрофоны? Какая-то прослушка, что ли, ведется?
It's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
Блин, у меня тут...
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything? The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its
Could be.
He doesn't seem entirely convinced, though. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead. It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows. Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go? You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. The shadow is a man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The crab man. The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamro. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Rivershoal.
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't even know it.
Так, зашибись, он еще и нотации мне будет читать. Нет, я в полной мере чувствую все эти страдания. Откуда ты знаешь, что я чувствую? Молодых людей, которые хотят открыть ночной клуб.
I was like you once, just dragging my feet to the next bottle. Shit was dark, Holmes.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Ты знаешь, что вообще-то алкоголь столет основу моей личности. Если бы я не пил, то это бы уже был не я. Я не знаю, о чем ты. Это все, конечно же, хорошо, но я бы хотел покурить о самовольном захвате церковной собственности.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes. This is the church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is grandma?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear. That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me,
Угу.
I won't stop you from using it. I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
All right, let's consider the context and meaning here.
Я вижу, к чему все это. Такое ощущение, будто эти фигуры пытаются слиться с церковью, чтобы стать не единым целым, или, может быть, самой матерью. Потереть подбородок. Интересные у тебя тут узорчики. Прищуриться. Выглядит немного вторично. Таким ретроградным изображением женских тел ты лишь продвигаешь объективизацию женщин. Честно говоря, я не понимаю, эти фигуры выглядят незаконченными.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it.
Кем ты был до того, как стал человеком-крабом, резчиком по дереву?
But my memories of that time are fading. Most of
Всё-
them are already gone.
Все больше и больше людей теряет память. Предзнаменование беды. Я тоже потерял память, и теперь призраки воспоминаний преследуют меня. Я тоже потерял память, и мне это нравится. Теперь я как будто создаю себя заново, начинаю с чистого листа. То есть ты был бандитом, но даже этого не помнишь. Удобно.
No, man. You gotta let that shit go. Then the mother's light touch will fill you with rapture.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name. But those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
Меня зовут Гарри. Меня зовут Гарри Дюбуа, и мое место в мире лейтенант, дважды ефрейтор. Это же недостаточно. Имена не нужны, мне не важно, как меня зовут.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Это ты проводишь проколу, не понимаешь, что ты делаешь в церкви. Что это за матерь?
That's no simple question, I said. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
Что произойдет, когда ты припадешь к проколу?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
Уже ты просто заменяешь один наркотик другим?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Ну да, ну да. Все, конечно же, именно так и есть.
Too gleeful those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
I heard that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night? She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out. I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I know it will take time.
Я по-прежнему не понимаю, что ты делаешь в церкви.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Я Сераф, дружище, я пою во славу матери. А мне ты можешь спеть? Вспомни что-нибудь. Какой смысл петь ей песни, если на матерь тишины действительно... Я тоже своего рода певец.
I am from no Mariette, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
Mariette is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities, especially weddings. It's delightfully quaint, owing to its peasant origins.
У меня ощущение, что это отсылка к мариачи.
He lost his cool there for a moment. Seems you hit some nerve.
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Так, не знаешь, почему церковь заброшена?
Did you witness it?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Рейверы хотят превратить это место в ночной клуб.
10 outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me. Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. And why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. No music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
Why does art inspire you so much?
Не, искусство для высокомерных балаболов. Почему мы вообще об этом разговариваем? Что такое вообще искусство?
Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
А я смог бы стать частью мира искусства? Ну, то есть...
Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too.
Погоди, архитектура что тоже искусство? Все это тупо. Архитектура тупо.
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
Наполовину художественным критиком, наполовину копом. Так, стоп, а разве я не должен быть копом на все 100%? Мне же дело надо раскрыть и все такое. Ладно. Если чтобы спастись от рутины, надо стать наполовину художественным критиком, то так тому и быть. Нет, я не могу допустить еще одного расщепления капотипа. Отстань.
Being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive and camp aesthetic now? Strike a bold shape here. Go art or go home. Bravo. Continue, then, the mediocre and vulgar epigones of the world. So what if everything is incomprehensibly shit and you can see it? Take no responsibility. This was a good call. That guy probably thinks forensics is autism too.
От твоего внимания не ускользнул тот факт, что ты алкоголик, и что это болезнь, и она тебя убивает. Ты ползешь по жизни на коленях, волоча по земле раздутое от браги брюхо, твои мысли то заплетаются, то несутся бешеным галопом. Волосы сплелись от сегодняшней испарины и вчерашней блевоты. Наверное, они действительно правы. Что угодно лучше, чем такое, даже суровая реальность. Может, ты сумеешь бросить? Временный бонус за исследование минус... время исследования 20. Это на период исследования сила 20 часов. Ну ладно, посмотрим, короче. Посмотрим, что тут еще есть. Разбившаяся стеклянная панель, цветная. Угу. Мороз украсил стекло цветами, и теперь ничего не видно. На замерзшем окне кто-то нарисовал оленя. Это шарфик какой-то, по-моему. Что у нас здесь? Оп. Шелковый шарф мескийского гангстера. Так. Вот это убогий галстук убрать. Оп. Товарищ хипстер.
With his finger on the eject button, ready to let go of this life. But guess what? You idiot. You've got the bullet, but no gun. You've made such a big show out of it too. You feel like everyone basically expects you to do it now. What is this? You're not ready to die. This is garbage.
Какая жалость, а ведь быть копом-самоубийцем, так по мне. Что-то есть надо об этом... Нет, это знак того, что я хочу жить.
Keep up the charade another day. This could have been so liberating, but you cling to the case, to your partner, to the world. It's pitiful.
Действительно. Так. Так. Заменить головной убор. Оранжевая бомжовская шапка. +1 драма, чем нитячки, +1 логика, -1 авторитет, +1 визуальный анализ, -1 драма. Так, а что у меня здесь? Больше нет никаких главных уборов, кроме вот этой фигни. Нет. Паук опутал эту деревянную резную колонну своей паутиной. Тут какие-то ботинки лежат на столе. Ну, какие? +1 эмпатия, как раз мексийского гангстера. Так, а у меня... Что у меня сейчас за обувь? +1 восприятие, +1 эмпатия. Да я богат вообще, ребята. Пацаны, вообще, ребята. Так, что у нас тут? Кто-то подключил внешний источник энергии к этой анкете. Фу, к анкете, антенне. Так, здесь какие-то катушки крутятся. Магнитофон на 2 катушки. Крутится в холостую. Портативный магнитофон Харман в уши. Может быть, он что-то записывает? Может быть. Так, что у нас тут?
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
A radio computer. And it's turned on. We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. A radio computer. We have one down at the station. No, I don't know how to operate it or what it's used for. Let's go.
This is the Ream Prefect radio computer, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits. You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. This is the machine's filament memory. Press play to access its contents. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat, is this the personal log?
This is a human interface. A retired person sitting behind a switchboard somewhere.
The filament you have inserted into the core.
Так, вы вставили узловой блок памяти в ядро. Вы имеете в виду ту светящуюся штуку, на которой приклеена лента с надписью «Журнал»?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Is this the personal log? If you are unsure, could you please take a look? Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it, but the core is safe. There's a filament inside. I need to know what it's called. Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
No.
The hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Received. I will register this login attempt. Fortress Accident, is there anything else I can do for you today? The company on whose name the terminal you're currently using has been registered to. One moment. Fortress Accident SCS produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress.
Живая копча.
Well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios. Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do for you, Fortress Accident. Goodbye, Fortress Accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons. Nothing happens.
Понятно. Так, пойдем пообщаемся с нашим акробатом.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love. Too many times, essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Я провожу опросы по роли секретных кодах, чтобы выявить региональные тенденции в интересах общественной безопасности, конечно. Дать необходимо для расследования особо тяжкого преступления, убийства, совершенного Мартинезе. Честно говоря, я просто хочу взломать ради компьютера, посмотреть, какие данные на нем хранятся.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrow, but doesn't say anything.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What do you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I think we're done here, Ese.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our
Может быть, это женщина, которую мы ищем. Кицураги, не тупи.
The speaker comes to life. Statics.
Good afternoon, Fortress. Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress accident. Is there anything else Goodbye, Fortress accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church, the door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while. Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
For setting up a radio computer. 8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Художники, программисты, Лекси, кто все эти люди?
Her friends? Colleagues? She must be quite educated if she knew how to set up all this machinery.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51, a new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles, crackers, ping-pong energy drinks, water, toothpaste, gum, also some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A stranger makes straight for the radio computer.
Uh-oh.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you. The woman looks down at you, standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. As that terrible word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles, her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass. It's a mystery sprinkled with self-pity and regret. For some reason, unknown to your mind, looking at her delicate eyes makes you feel like you're ready for drowning. All you know is, this is the young mother of humanity, and that you should go. Do something else. Escape her sad, worry-worn look. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both. Unknown. A motor carriage? A gunshot? Someone falling into it? Or maybe just hooligans looking for something to break? The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail. Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing. Justice, union, prudence, and force. Eyes cool.
The mother of humanism towers above you.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Ravachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Setsa, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of Delorianism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Delorian in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The Delorian system does not demand faith, only accordance.
What is it? No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper. I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager.
You arrested them? Didn't think the cops in this place had it in them. Nope. Yes. And? I don't care. I don't care about crap men. I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I use the AR-1 as my RAIM prefix processing unit. Mm-hmm. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna. I guess it is. So far, I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market, so I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieux dedicated to that sort of thing. I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core, the light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point? I really need to focus on something. So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps. Because I needed something good for my investigation, and RAIM Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards, so I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a RAIM prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see RAIM prefects in every police department, for example.
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the Coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade RAIM Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as RAIM Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off. But it does have better compatibility with newer antenna models, so I won't complain. They are connected to my RAIM Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
Great. You really like those questions, don't you? I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
Минуточку, то есть мы живем в мире, в котором есть прореха? Ну, это можно измерить, собирая данные об окружающем пространстве, о том, что существует. Я не понимаю даже, как можно разговаривать о том, что чего не существует, а уж тем более, как измерять это. Не знаю, я здесь не для того, чтобы заниматься наукой, лишь хочу раскрыть убийство, чтобы можно было вернуться домой.
I don't know. Are we? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. But how do I figure it out? You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins.
Hydro transducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark, most of the tower disappearing into the shade.
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
Хрен тебе, Макс. Для этой игры я отключил бота. Нечего шуметь на сюжетных играх. Так, возможно, но это подозрительно близко к физическим координатам потери данных, что привело меня сюда. Вы же не думаете, что человек-краб может быть в этом как-то замешан? Вы сказали, что исследование продвигается не очень хорошо. Почему?
Trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space.
Ну да, мы не в библиотеке, но просто я не вижу смысла оставлять эти команды на игры, в которых как бы есть сюжет, за которым можно следить. Вот представь, что ты кино смотришь, а кто-то стоит у тебя над духом и это орет: FBI, open up! FBI, open up!
And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Great. Thanks. The Swallow, you mean? Great. Thanks.
Так, и что мне это дало? Вроде тут все осмотрел. Так, где эта алкашня сидит? Стоп.
It takes you a moment. But finally, you spot the last of Morel's traps. This one's partially obscured by the reeds. Behind you, the ruins of a residential building loom over the reeds. They whisper amongst themselves, confidently. Snowflakes cling to their shivering stems. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here. No locust. But still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there. I just see an empty trap.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked up the trap and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
Такое чувство, будто с ловушкой уже кто-то нахимичил. Ну что, если это был фазмит? Вдруг он сожрал приманку и улизнул? Вряд ли был это фазмит, но все-таки надо сказать Мореллу. Ты прав, но я все-таки должен сказать об этом кто-то зоологам. Ты прав, идиотское какое-то крипторасследование.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not. Okay, but after that we get back to our own assignments. There really is no explanation for why we are taking such a detour at this point in the investigation. None what...
A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall. With another 7 shades, a cold...
Здесь я уже был. Я баблишко пропустил. Здесь ничего нету. Так, где эти алкаши сидят? Я что-то не помню. Алкаши. Нет, не тут. Они где-то рядом с этой рыбацкой деревней, по-моему, тусовались.
Good evening. Sure. What's on your mind? But of course.
Подожди, а у меня никакой журнал-то этот остался? Нет. Ну и чё мне толку от этого журнала тогда?
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
Странно, что там диалоговых опций-то не было. Вроде все шло к тому, что там что-то про повешение она напишет в этом журнале. Так, ладно, пойду алкоголиков найду пока. Вот они, нашел.
Tequila sunset.
Ah, tequila. I knew you'd come through. That's fucking great, man. What's that supposed to mean? What's that got to do with my jacket? What do I care about some local stiff? You gonna give me the jacket or no? Let me see. What? This isn't my jacket. My jacket was beautiful. This is fucking filthy. What am I supposed to do with this? I'm not taking a disgusting pile of hobo rags. I may be in an irrecoverably decaying orbit, but I've still got standards. Either bring it back the way it was before, or find a dumpster.
You know, despite the guano, it looks like the jacket itself is stain resistant. It may just need a good scrubbing.
Стирайте грязную куртку. Господи, да в чем мне ее стирать? Ну, елки-палки. Что за ерундистика?
Yes, what is it?
Ничего.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you. Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's rambling.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
Measuring things is important. How did she get the size?
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5 and a half in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me. I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
Если бы мне девушка на свидании такую историю рассказала, это было бы последнее свидание.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour. How some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
Ha ha! Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
Good. Okay. And? Completely empty?
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but...
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them.
Of course, more clever.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps, make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
Of course. Be sarcastic. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture, mine stands, okay? Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol.
Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here.
Damn it, Lieutenant. Have you no intellectual curiosity? Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
A little hooligan. But what would a child want with bags?
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
Delinquents, my favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up. I have a...
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
He hasn't been particularly forthcoming before. He may well still be hiding something. After he's left, it's too late.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it. Even Morale, it's been fun. Really. But I need a bath, and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologize, Geary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're good.
I really owe you one for getting us out of those reeds, officer. finally got all that soot out of my hair. Name's Gary. Yellow Man. I mean, officer.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow Man, might this be the owner of that mug you found in the trash? This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
This man respects authority too much to see you for what you are. Pretend thou art a sober man.
Про меня такого не скажешь, в этом я тебя заверяю. Я трезвый, как стеклышко, строго уставной, абсолютно не пьющий хранитель правопорядка. Алкоголь меня вовсе не интересует. Пьяницы и вырожденцы моя команда. Вы, боюсь, я пьяница или вырожденец, а может и то, и другое. Никто не идеален. Неужто тебя никогда не искушал зеленый змей?
I've been tempted on occasion, but someone has to stay strong for Revacol.
Реваколь. Ревашоль же.
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
He's not feeling very comfy in his clothes, is he? Strange. He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
My mug? Why would you think that?
Сказал желтый человек, так мало кто говорит. Так, когда ты воскликнул желтый человек, ты будто с тоской к нему возломал.
Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone. Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you? Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law. I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez, so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Гарри, это ты выбросил одежду жертвы, человека, которого повесили за танцами в тряпье, в мусорный бак?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People. Then I came out to clean up the rags, because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but
What sound.
Керамическая броня.
Really? There's lots of weird sounds in a bar like this, though. Pinball, glasses clinking.
Maybe it was pinball.
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way. No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way, but I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
Oh, yes, the burning rhino. Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai. A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do. They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze.
We don't really do that around here.
We should have more such decisive action in Revacol. You know, this city used to be a flaming rhino once, a long time ago. The flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior. During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos, forming a fiery ring as they begin to copulate loudly. Local peasants call it the passion ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should. Anyway.
The lieutenant sighs without looking up from his notes. It's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels, some even spiritual.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly. No problem at all.
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here, if you can remember it. Return without the lieutenant. For this, your balance organ thinks it's a waste of time.
Пока ставлю так.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this. No. No, of course not. Why? Well, he's been a little unenthusiastic about the trip. More so than usual. That's understandable. He just wants to get home and warm up.
Oh, hello, sweet.
Very generous of you to up.
Once more, you hear that odd clicking sound coming from Gary. Is he? He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of beads might a man like Gary be hiding beneath his clothes?
Why would I do that, officer? But, officer, I'm not wearing any women's...
Еще раз. На нем явно какой-то предмет керамической брони этого висельника. Прям вот к бабке не ходи. Куда он делся-то? Ну ж только что тут стоял. Нормально. Ну ладно. Нормально загрузился. Я должен выбить эту дверь. Уж дверь-то точно никуда не пропадет. Надо заканчивать уже. Сегодня тоже заигрался. 3 часа уже. Так, пойдем выбивать эту дверь. Никто в здравом уме не засунул бы свою голову в такую машину. Какую? А, в эту-то машину. Да, тоже так думаю. Подожди, здесь что-то активное. Все инструменты.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Ow, shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt?
Are you alright?
What is going on? I warn you.
It barely looks like you've done.
Еще раз. Я, блин, должен ее выбить наконец. Загрузить, подтвердить.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Ow, shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door?
Are you alright?
What is going on? I warn you.
It barely looks like...
Так, ладно, последняя попытка. Это же кости. Такие высокие шансы. Ну как это?
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens,
Опять не
if not
попал.
hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Ow, shoot.
Are you alright?
What is... I warn you.
It barely looks like... A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Lebanese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
В жопу систему, не с места ублюдки. Ой, класс. Давай. Блин, вот я только собирался заканчивать играть.
Broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter.
Взгляните на мои великие деяния и устрашитесь вещи. Нет, я лишь бессильный человек, пытающийся выместить свое бессилие на обыденных вещах. Да, люблю все раз.
Kudos.
Ось без полочки пиража. Противопредметный спецотряд. Временный бонус за исследование. -2 болевой порог. Больно. Время исследования 2 часа 15 минут. Взгляни на свои руки. Видишь, сколько на них синяков. Видишь эти маленькие шрамы? Это вещдок номер 1. Материальный мир сдерживает тебя. Контейнеры, почтовые ящики, двери, стулья — все это твои враги. И всегда были врагами. Сами атомы сговорились против тебя, собираясь в ненавистные тебе формы и структуры. Ты — энергия, застрявшая в теле, дух, застрявший в материи. Вырвись на свободу и сбей этот фонарный столб. Пусть знает, что предметы — отстой. Господи. Вот это наркомания. Блин, ребята, да это же... Это же качалка. Пахнет кожей и потом. Ядро. О, так это ж бубуль. Из груши сыпятся песчинки. Так, Кицураги что-то хочет мне сказать. Приключения. Потусторонний мир, скрытый за завесой, похоже на тот же зал. Но у меня болит голова, жутко болит. Думаю, мы вышку бокса Артемитеп.
I think you're right. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a ray of streetlight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark.
Может, неспроста сюда никто давно не приходил. Идем дальше. Я уверен, это обычное заброшенное здание, никакой мистики.
Yes, because it's closed.
Ну или так, да.
No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
Что ж, предметы. Так. Это что, контактный миг, чемпион по боксу? По-любому. Надпись на плакате «Ситус, Фортис», остальное нечитаемое. Видавший виды гимнастическая стенка выглядит небезопасно. Так. Еще одна попытка угробить нашего бомжекопа.
The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
Осторожно, это ловушка.
Better not touch it then.
Каким же нужно быть ублюдком, чтобы снять зажимы со штанги? За такое сажать надо.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Естественно. чертов слабак.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slip with sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to smash through that back door.
Обучаешь штаны. Похоже, я немного не в форме. Ну или просто перчатки говно. Да ну и ладно, тяжелая атлетика для умственно отсталых.
At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head.
Ну, пойдемте дальше. Проход в коридоре завален старыми оконными рамами и мусором. Идем дальше. Все, что ли? А, нет, вот. Так, что у нас тут? Огромная бутыль заполнена странной жидкостью. Из темноты на тебя смотрят дикие животные, чучело на подставках. Так, окей. Лопасти воздушных винтов, покрытые паутиной, напоминают лезвия. Топ. Похоже на руины мастерской окна 24. О, бабусики. Обнаженный торс манекена странного желтого цвета. Мягкий синий бархат, побитый молью. Это ателье Эмма. Еще бабусики. Пара лыж. Надпись на покрытии Slipstream. Узловой блок памяти. Производственный график. Окей. Стальные лопасти винта с логотипом Slipstream. Стоп. Ну где же одежда, которая была на нем? Еще проход есть, не забыть про него. Это же радиокомпьютер. Стоп.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Это эльф.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types.
Эльфов.
You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin. And even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. It says all non-welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
Я думаю, понятно, к чему эта отсылочка.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Что это за существа? Кто нарисовал их? Они действительно существуют? У меня так много вопросов. Один из файлов сторонник теории расового превосходства.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Political commentary. That one has a great beard too.
Что ж, это было очень познавательно. Закончим на этом с файлами. Посмотреть фотографии.
Depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat-death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting." This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s.
Разработчики самый крутой РПГ во вселенной. Да уж.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pesantic.
Погоди, откуда я знаю, как должна выглядеть кедранская мозаика?
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap.
Сейчас нам будет рассказывать принцип работы ролевых игр настольных. Так.
Someone very important.
Да, по-любому.
Hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Ага, одна только выделенная полоса частот наверняка стоила огромных денег.
Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages. A dusty radio computer sleeps on its wired frame, forgotten and unused. Its keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
Another radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver.
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian repeater station. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I've unlocked the production schedule.
Серьезно?
After ending the call, please press print to access.
Тот же самый пароль?
Really? She just used the same password? Maybe those radio computer guys aren't that paranoid after all.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else? I thank you and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. With a quiet determination, the printer starts printing, a piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. A black crisscross of letters covers its surface. It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about Whirl Untethered, a radio game developed by Studio Fortress Accident. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule.
Прочитаю про капитал. Хочу узнать о деньгах.
Fortress Accident, SCA, managed to burn through truly insane amounts of money. The first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Riyal, but then came the delays. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Riyal, with only half of the game finished. Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian investor.
Штат сотрудников. Кто здесь работал, как долго?
Employed 18 people. The bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio programmers, sound engineers, a CEO, 2 marketing experts, and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligations. Why did Fortress Accident have so many concept artists?
Да. Стоп, а зачем для радиоигры было столько... Нужно столько художников? Они не были нужны, но спасибо за ответ. То есть только художников не нужно было?
A few more producers could have come in handy though, especially when dealing with writers, some of whom routinely skipped work because of mental health issues and extremely unprofessional sleep schedules.
Это... Высказывание по поводу кранчей в реальной игровой индустрии.
One of them even managed to steal some valuable company property before skipping town for good. The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy.
И все это из-за художников.
Concept artists. It wasn't even the writers, with their panic attacks and 3-hour lunches. It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development team.
Короче, они пытались сделать онлайн D&D, у них ничего не получилось.
They tried to make a 4 million Riyal game, with 400,000 in their bank account. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't. No, even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, never entirely disappeared. That is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Sulisław Jalisa, decided that what Wirral Untethered needed was a secret mystical location at the extreme edge of the map. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor. The world had never seen their kind before, and might never again. So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined. Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here, but it may take a while.
Такого я не ожидал, окей. Центральный.
The lieutenant taps his foot impatiently, his arms folded tight against.
Что я наделал? Нет, перестань. Блин, как бы он сейчас у меня не откинулся. Остановись, пожалуйста. Все, пошли нули сплошные. Так. Так это их и погубило.
On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end, where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and numbers seem to vanish into an eerie nothingness, before the Igaunian investors pulled the plug. What is clear is that one day, an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front, just as the Wirral Untethered project was being compiled that day. When the project was returned, it was completely blank. The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss.
Топ, они потеряли всю игру из-за ничего никто не заплатил.
Mysteriously enough, it seems that the offsite copy happened to be onsite when the catastrophic data loss occurred. It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the offsite copy and, well, keep it offsite. An explanatory note from the lead programmer has been attached. S. Lukanen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident, the offsite copy was onsite because there was no offsite anymore. Not for me, not after 8 months of crunch.
Oh, я так и знал.
I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal. Her former colleagues would agree with you. She's right, actually. Nothing wrong with keeping this type of filament memory in a fridge. The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later. 4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right, though. Something's seriously wrong with this place. Martinez, all of it. Still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since the computation happened on air, I reckoned it had to coincide with an actually existing location. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing in the eye. Saint-Brun 1147? That's what the street sign next to the church said.
Угу.
On the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Okay, what do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard and fireplace?
Это же очевидно, это все, что осталось от Fortress Accident студии Саоны, которая делала радиоигру. Похоже на секретную операцию контрразведки. Всего лишь очередная обанкротившаяся фирма. Вопрос только в том, что это за хрень они производили.
Yes, I got that. What I meant was, what were they trying to achieve with this damn game? What were their ambitions? Because this here looks rather advanced.
This is way above your tiny little policeman head.
Okay, well, I think.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games.
Угу.
People were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers. Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
Свет очень странно работает.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
Грамма составит неплохую компанию, давай ее закончим. Давай дадим им денег, чтобы они могли закончить игру и сделать ее еще масштабнее, да, конечно.
I don't think so. I think they genuinely believed. Okay, let's keep moving.
Пойдем. Ой, ничего ломать не пришлось, нифига себе. Так, большинство людей ложатся спать после 21:00 или немного позже. У меня сейчас 21:44. Ой. Мне уже тоже спать пора ложиться. О, баблишка. Таблетосики. О, это тут холодильник, где я мог спрятать труп.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in it. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge, you pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
Откуда вообще в заброшенном подвале взялся огромный холодильник в виде белого медведя?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
То есть они пытались подавать мороженое прямо из этого гиперхищника?
What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
This
Посмотрим.
but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Прочесть записку.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Suliswaf.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here. That's a plausible hypothesis.
Что такое узловой блок памяти?
Radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
It's like the production schedule you found. Only this one's an off-site copy.
Безграмотный рыжий шкет. Кто это? Дакуна это?
You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
Есть предположение по поводу того, где может быть эта замерзшая машина для производства мороженого?
I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Я тоже так думаю. Машина для производства мороженого отключена от сети и разморожена. Оп. В свете фонарика появляется странная тень. Здесь есть дверь. За трубами спрятаны две ржавые винтовки. Несколько минут. Это еще что?
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs, rummaging around. You find...
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say.
He likes this find.
Вот такая ценность. И ничего не стоит. Замерзшая машина для производства мороженого все еще работает. Так, давай, открывайте.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to... No, this is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry bar. Don't even try to... If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your... Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one
Безумная майка в сеточку. Так, пока здесь ничего не трогаем. Здесь не пройти.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them.
What are you doing? Wait, really? You should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the ring. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave painting for future archaeologists. No, that would be stupid. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has...
Где эту супермонтировку найти, интересно? Что имеет в виду? Чего эти? Попробуем что-нибудь.
Into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Something close to you dies with a soft...
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say. This orange machine is... This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. Only the red cape somewhere. A machine hums along with the current.
Пусть пока поработает. То от этой игры можно всякого ожидать. О, просто теперь здесь. Кто-то там разговаривает. Это где-то в этом здании, значит. Там была лестница, которую я пока проигнорировал. Пойдем посмотрим. Блин, что-то как-то слишком залипательно. Время 10 часов почти уже. Надо бы сворачиваться. Завтра утром еще поиграть.
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the... This is directly above the central furnace in the cellar. The voices probably... As before, this is directly... What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Still nothing. No one's home. curtains prove to be surprisingly
There must be another way to wake up whoever is in there. Maybe we should ask.
Спасибо за совет. Если эту хрень разобрать.
The barbell waits patiently.
Не пойдет. Все, я понял. Ладно. Через улицу. Стоп.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other. Reality is ruthless.
Да, давай. Так, магазин закрыт. Ни с кем я сейчас не поговорю, в общем-то. Наверное, можно отправляться спать. Подожди. Или можно сделать вот так.
A hollow ring goes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Может быть, я кого-то разбудил? Ой. Больно ударился. Нет, если с кем-то разговаривать, это, короче, надолго будет. Здесь по-быстрому не бывает. Надо сохраниться. Сохранить игру. Сохранить. Так что на сегодня будем заканчивать. Всем счастливо. 2 молчаливым зрителям на Твиче.